What are you involved in? Because that's what you're evolving into. If you're feeling stuck, it could be that you're not evolving, and there's a way that we evolve. Let's talk about that today. I don't know about you, but I was always of the mindset that if you do this, you get that. Do this, you'll get that. Do this, this will happen. So it was all about action. And what I love, it's always about the decision. It's about the decision. That's what causes the result. Okay, first cause is the decision. It's an intention in our mind. This thing I will do. Our growth and our evolving must happen for our life to change. It's growth in us, and then we see the result. We want to get involved in the desire. That's how it evolves. Involvement produces evolvement. And I've got many examples I could tell you about where I sat and thought about something and wished and hoped and got to the point of being frustrated and disappointed. And I realized I didn't have it because I never got involved in having it. Your body's an instrument of your mind. That's how mothers lift cars off their children. The impossible can happen. So here we are, just wanting to express the life that's in us. There is no thing that can stop you. There's no limit. The real limits that will stop you are so far beyond what you could ever imagine. They're not actually limits. So there's no limit for us as humans as to what we can do. So it's not the training, it's not what you do that causes you to succeed. It is the decision that you make and continue to make. The everyday, the doubt that creeps in, it's a decision. We have choice, so much choice. What is your decision? So what is it for you that you had on your vision at the beginning of the year, and you found lots of alibis to just say, maybe it's not this year. But what does your heart say about that? Because my heart's never hung this up and said, no, let's not. It's been the fear, it's been the uncertainty, it's new. I've got a passion for what I'm doing, and now I'm ready to go out and do that. Without the decision though, I'll never become involved in what it takes. It's easy to stand back and wish and want and imagine, but without the decision, I'm not involved. I'm on the sidelines. You're either going to get involved and say yes to this, or you're going to just watch from the sidelines. Interestingly, I looked up the word evolve, and to evolve means to unroll, to develop gradually over time. That's what we're doing. We're evolving, unrolling, developing gradually over time. Then you look at the word involve, and it says necessary to bring about the effect. Include as a necessary part. So involvement is the necessary ingredient to evolvement. And so the next time you're standing next to somebody who's wishing and wanting and whining and whinging, it's like, what are you involved in? Because that's what you're evolving into. So the question, what do I really want? Is it wealth, like financial wealth? Is it relationship? Is it health? Travel? So what is it? And you just want to write that down. Step number 1 is decide what it is. What holds us back is how am I going to do that? I want to tell you, do not give that any thought, because the how will appear when you've decided, okay? And it has to be a committed decision. And the very next turn, there'll be an obstacle. What are you deciding at that obstacle? You know, when I started that business, man, I was a determined little Annie. I was just, this thing is happening. And I just was not going to take no for an answer. Okay, now we know our body's an instrument of our mind, so it must be a decision. A decision says it cuts off any other option. It means to cut off any other option. So we decide first and foremost. Don't ask for opinions, because it's not their decision, because it's not their desire. You can't expect somebody that doesn't have the desire that you can feel in you to support your decision the way that your being is supporting your decision. So don't ask for opinions. You may go and we've all got more to learn in skills, but your desire is yours. So decide you're doing it. Don't play with, oh, but what if this, what if that? If you're going to play that game, always put in, what if this works? What if this is amazing? Play that game. Whatever it is that you really, truly want, decide this thing I will do. I am doing. Decide. And the more you say that, the more you believe it. I have a beautiful example of this at one of our pod members. He's fairly new to this information, so he's only 6 months in, and he owns his own business, and he's starting to really practice the principles. And he said, oh, I've really enjoyed this work, but not so much this type of work. So he decided, there's the word decision, to not go after this work anymore, the ones that he didn't really love. But there's one little segment that he really enjoys, and he just had one piece of that going. So he said no to the rest, and he said, I really want more of this work. In fact, I'd love to work with this company more, because he's his own business. They just get him for different jobs. And then he decided that, demonstrated it, and then he said, how's that going to happen? The very next day, they called him and said, we've really enjoyed working with you. Would you be open to doing more work? And he said, that was easy. So you see, the hard part is the decision. And that takes faith to say, I'm doing this. And the faith is the knowing that it's yours. And you know that by the way it feels. And that's what I'm practicing as I walk through this next phase. For me, it's like, I know this to be true for me, so therefore the way exists. It's exciting. So that's the first step in creating the mindset that will bring about my chosen result. Decide it's happening. The resources show up after you decide. As much as we'd love it to be the other way, show me what you've got, universe, then I'll decide. It doesn't work like that. That's why we have in us faith, innate in us. Use that faith. Don't invert it and let it be fear. Use your faith. Okay, cool. I've got this desire. I know I'll be provided for. Let's go. I've done a lot of that. And yes, it does exhilarate you. That's the word I like to use. It's exhilarating, and you can trust it. Believing is seeing, not the other way around. You don't wait till you see it. Believe it and you'll see it. It is possible because you can see it in your mind. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Now, there's a process. The first part is to decide. That's for me. I am now willing to do whatever it takes. We were laughing with Karen on the call. Karen in our community, beautiful lady. And I said to her in the pod the other day, are you willing to do whatever it takes? She said, no. But the caveat was, I'll do whatever I feel is me. And that's good. Yes, the universe will not be unfolding a way for you that is not you. In fact, your very purpose is to express you, the real you. And that's the challenge a lot of us have, because we haven't been steeped in doing that. So decide what it is that you're being, what you're creating, and let it work for you. Keep your focus on why you're here, the joy that you are experiencing.